Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's time for Squatch-D TV for the date, August 15th, 2025. I'm your host, your guide, Squatch Detective Steve Kulls, along with my co-host, Mr. Chris Bennett.
Hey, Steve, what's going on, man? We're in the middle of August. Can you believe that? Halfway through. And it seems like it's just getting started.
I know, in another month and a half, it'll be fall.
Won't be long.
Can you believe that?
I'll, don't get me wrong. I love summer, but I'll be glad when the leaves get off the trees so we can do a little looking around here.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. What a weird night it's been. And I am not feeling well all of a sudden.
Oh, no.
Chris, do you want to say hi to the folks in chat? I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll do a little roll call here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. It's a little starting out. Well, we still got, looks like about 23 people has already showed up. Golly. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Here we got here. Who was first in the chat tonight? Pete H. Hello, Steve and Chris, some chat friends. How you doing, Pete? And we got Walter Kroll. Hey, Walter. I see Sharon in there. Hi, Sharon. Mitch Hartgrove is in here. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. Mike Stetton. Hey, Mike. Good to see you, man. Let's see. Boris Kahn. Boom shakalaka. I love that, man. And that brings back memories. It does. Ristle. Hey, Ristle. What's going on, man? Let's see here. Gary Johnson Sr. Good to see you, Gary. The other Meldrum. Ron Meldrum. Hey, Ron. Let's see. I already said Mike Stetton. I shouldn't get lost now. Don Gumow Jr. Sasquatch Research. Welcome, Don. And I think that's it. I think, no, Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team. Hell, hey, guys. Good to see you. I wonder if could be somebody maybe named Abe, I wonder. John Swan. Hey, John. Good to see you, man. And I wonder if, let's see, I know we've got some lurkers out there, so we appreciate all the lurkers. And, I do it too. Okay, I'll go into a show and just kind of stay in the background, not feel like typing on the chat, and listen to the show while I do other things. But it's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Yeah, that's you, Abe. Hey, it's good to see you, Abe. Welcome, man. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you. Hope everything's going well for you. But, Robert. Okay, Robert Nunziata. Robert, I'm sorry if I don't get that last name wrong. If I get your last name wrong, but I'm trying. But, yeah, one of our lurkers. Good to see you, Robert. Thank you for hanging out with us. Ron, he is the other Meldrum. Okay, I got you. Good. You guys are great. But, yeah, we didn't know Steve was going to feel bad. How you doing, bud? You feel okay now?
I'll be all right. I'll live.
A little lightheaded or stomach bugging you?
Stomach's bothering me.
Oh, man.
It's not the stomach bug, but. So, looks like we got Abe in the chat tonight, too. Haven't seen Abe in a while.
Yeah, Abe showed up. Good to see him.
So, We got a lot. Let's start off with a news update on a story we broke here back in July of this year, just less than a month ago. But our Bigfoot, our Adirondack Bigfoot body, that story seemed to start making the rounds in the news despite my press release. Right. And as you recall,
boy.
there's our slide that identified, the who's behind the whole thing.
Right.
But in the amazing thing is that at least somebody is being a voice for the truth, and Coast to Coast wrote about it, but they also put our resounding debunking of everything by saying, while both the press release and the website play the situation completely straight with no indication that the exhibition is for entertainment purposes only, to call the audacious claim suspicious would be an understatement. To that end, shortly after the press release was issued, seasoned Sasquatch researcher Steve Kulls declared the discovery was almost certainly a hoax and being perpetrated and performed by a performance artist with a history of such stunts. And his assessment was echoed by Matt Moneymaker. As we said in the last the show we did about this, that he was that same performance artist was bothering the BFRO quite a bit.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised that he's still gonna. Could you put the first slide back up there where he says, what was it? Okay. In a groundbreaking discovery, a team led by Bigfoot expert Charles Snake Stewart, no relation to Snake Plissken, has found a Bigfoot specimen in the Adirondack Mountains, and he wants you to be the judge of fiction and fact.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you your money. You got to pay to give us your opinion.
Yeah, 9 shekels. 9 shekels.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So at least thanks to Tim Bennett. Tim Bennett, great guy.
Yes.
Writes
absolutely.
the blogs for Coast to Coast. Always
Good
tries
stuff.
to call it straight. So
good stuff, Tim. Well done.
Done a better job at journalism than the reporter on the right. Better job than the actual journalist, the so-called journalists.
Well, the guy, he's going to make a few bucks. And, of course, he's going to aggravate a few people because everybody that pays to see it is going to be like, daggone it, man. I can't believe I paid money to see a squished Sasquatch suit with leaves on it. Performance art, though, it is its own thing. I saw, and there's a photo of a giant skeleton that still makes the rounds on the internet. You'll see it in lots of different videos where people did a video like on YouTube about giants. And then how this big skeleton, which looks like a giant human skeleton, but, the head is, I don't know, the size of a freaking barrel or something. So, but all that, that was performance art. The guy created the skeleton and took photos of it, but he never did anything. He never tried to make it like it was real or anything. It was just, that was his art. And, but the people look at those photos and they tried to make something else out of it. Oh yes, look, this giant was found in Thailand. No. No. This is proof giants existed. No. That's not. There may be some evidence, but that's not it.
Well, here's an interesting factoid. The last day of the New York State Fair is Monday, September 1st. I happen to be off August 31st.
Oh, well, that would be kind of handy. I would hate to see you finance the guy, but
oh no! But I'm sure somebody will be standing outside nearby that I can get some comment to. And you know what? I may take somebody along with me to do a pure reaction video.
Oh, that would be good. That would
think he's going to watch this show? I doubt he's watching this very show right now.
No.
May have seen the other one.
No, the only thing he was interested in Bigfoot was, making his little artwork there.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a safe bet. It's a safe bet, yeah.
Chris, take a few questions. I'll be right back again.
Well, I want to read this thing. I want to. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Read the article if you want.
Well, the middle paragraph was bothering me. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Steve. It says, as for why the unfathomable find will be showcased at the New York State Fair rather than a reputable scientific venue, the press release asserts that dragging a Bigfoot carcass into a research institution is simply not a possibility. Okay. So we are raising awareness as best we can on this specimen. So it's impossible. It's not possible to drag it into a research facility, but it's possible to drag it into the state fair. Entry to the exhibition comes at the unusual asking price of $9.31 for a ticket to view what are being touted as real Bigfoot remains that will be on display from August 20th to September 1st. For those unable to make the trip to see the alleged body for themselves, you are in luck, as the website and an accompanying Instagram account for the event feature additional photos of the purported specimen when it was found in a forest. So, yeah. Abe says, Minnesota Iceman all over again. I believe it. Yeah, that's right, Abe. Definitely another Minnesota, an attempt at a Minnesota Iceman. But I don't know if this one's going to be in a block of ice or not. I mean, that would be better. At least, with the Iceman, it was encased in a block of ice. And, I think they may have used a little meat or something in there because they made it a little stinky, Well, you okay, Steve?
All right, back to business.
Yeah, but is this thing going to be in ice, Steve, or it doesn't mention it anywhere, does it? But
we really want me to spend that $9 to go check those?
No. Well, Abe said he brought up a good point. He said the Minnesota Iceman all over again, and I think that's what this guy's shooting for. But and I pointed out that, hey, at least the Iceman, it was in ice, and they did something to make the water kind of stinky. So when you walk in there, it's like, ugh, something's dead, and it'd be nice if he went to that extra length of time. But boy, I can imagine how much trouble it would be to freeze a big block of ice with a Bigfoot in it.
I do.
Yeah. Well, what's his face? Yeah, the freezer guy.
Found that out.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, I get the smokes from the res now, so it's.
Skip a pack of smokes. Go see. Well, if you're going to drive that far, go ahead. Just give him the $9.31 and then take a look at it. And then while you're in there, secretly snap photos.
Oh, I'm gonna bring my GoPro.
They're gonna say no cameras, no pictures, but don't worry about that. If you don't get caught, it didn't happen.
And I'm also gonna bring a picture of our video analysis. So where's Snake Stewart? Oh, I'm Snake Stewart. No, you're not. You're this guy.
Yeah. Well, hey, I loved Escape from New York as much as The Next Man, okay? And Escape from LA, too. I love those. Snake Plissken was a heck of a character by Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I know there's some groups talking about that maybe it's Biscardi doing it or Dyer doing it. It's not. It's this art group. Go back to the show of July 23rd last month, and the live broadcast, you will see us break it down, do the Adirondack Body Discovery deep dive. Take a look.
Yeah. That's right, Abe. That last one had pig intestines and everything else, and possums.
I don't think this is going to be as biological, to tell you the truth.
No. He's not going to go to that much trouble, I'm sure.
But so now that we've gotten past our 15-minute mark, let me gone about 7 minutes of it.
That's all right, man. I have a good time talking to the guys over in the chat.
But let's get into our topic tonight, which is Bigfoot, Baudrillard, and the Woo. And so first, Jean Baudrillard is a man behind a concept called what is it?
Pure
yeah. All right, we're
simulacrum.
Simulacrum. Simulacrum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been running around for the last 15 minutes. Got me really off my train wreck of thought. But he was the theorist, and he passed away back in 2007. But Baudrillard described the 4 stages of representation: reflecting reality, signs that show something real; distorting reality, signs after what's real; making the absence of reality, signs pretend to be real, but there's no reality behind them; and finally, pure simulacrum, which is the sign is its own reality now. There's no original needed. And Rogar asked 2 questions. Matt Moneymaker on level? He is. Maybe a little out there at times. I don't always agree with him, but he's on the level. And does anybody like Escape from LA? I liked Escape from New York much better.
Oh, yeah. Well, the part 2 is never as good as
I just didn't like that surfboard scene,
Yeah.
That was kind of silly.
They could have done something else with whatever.
He could have been like on a skiff or something, but the surfboard, come on.
Yeah. Snake Plissken surfing is just not
and like this,
right. Yeah.
And
not just surfing a tsunami wave.
Right. That whole scene ranks up there with the bad Bigfoot movies. Just the scene, though. But when we reach that last stage, is what he calls hyper reality, where people start reacting to the simulation as if it's truth. And what this is a creation of simulations. And, let me explain a little further. Chase Hughes, who check him out over at his YouTube page, is one of the behavior panel guys, is a behavioral expert, former U.S. Navy chief, and author specializing in human behavior, persuasion, and interrogation techniques. His video on the illusion of reality takes Baudrillard's academic ideas and gives them a modern, accessible spin, and showing how much of what we think we know is carefully curated, narrated, manifested, and marketed and packaged. So watching Hughes break down, I immediately thought about the Bigfoot woo phenomenon and claims of portals, cloaking, telepathy, interdimensional travel, and the connection to me, at least, became very, very obvious. We're going to break that down. But, I was watching this video yesterday and it just hit me. Why do so many people believe in the woo without question? Well, it all comes down to Baudrillard's philosophy, and he was a doctor of philosophy.
Yeah. Well, if you push the woo and you do it in a way to where you have a group of people that are accepting the woo, and they won't hear any counter argument of the woo, that's interesting.
Right. So let's take a look at how Baudrillard's system works with woo. So it's titled Bigfoot Woo through the Baudrillard's lens. And let's map the stages of the simulacra onto the Bigfoot woo phenomenon. And number 1, reflecting reality. At its core, Bigfoot research began with reported sightings, physical footprints, encounters grounded in nature. Even if unproven, there was still a connection to the physical biological world. So people were saying for Bigfoot in the 50s that were, we look at the, what was that case up in British Columbia on the farm there? One of John Green's major cases where the woman was home and saw it at the edge of the forest. And
yeah.
Chapman Farm, the Chapman Farm.
The Chapmans, yes.
Chapmans.
Chapman.
So we have that grounded. Even Osman's encounter, as crazy as it was, I think, was grounded in biological beings. There was no paranormal, superhuman gobbledygook going on, no mind speak or anything like that.
Yeah.
But as stories circulated, and this started again in the 80s, maybe a few in the 70s, but mostly started in the 80s and really spun up in the early 90s. As stories circulated, they began, and of course, they got worse as social media and the availability of Bigfoot stories increased.
Yeah.
So as stories circulated, they began to incorporate embellishments and unverified powers, glowing red eyes, and mind speak. Teleporting, all this wild stuff, turning into orbs. These accounts still claim to reflect reality, but we're stretching the boundaries. So then finally we have and of course, distorting reality. We have people like John Kawani Lapsaritis to thank for with his book, The Psychic Sasquatch. Calls them the Sasquatch people, and all this started to come up there. And Eric Beckchurch turned into the woo, even saying to me that, well, how do you know this about Bigfoot, Eric? Well, Bigfoot told me. Okay, Eric, okay.
Yeah, but some of the distorted reality, though, could be an honest mistake, like the glowing eyes. Well, rather than, there's no light being emitted from their eyes, but
there are stories that there are.
Yes, that's what they turned it into, right? Rather than an eye shine,
And it may not even be a conscious thing. It may be something subconscious because they keep reading about this disturbing, this distortion of reality starts to catch on.
Yeah.
So it almost becomes a group hypnosis type of thing to me. Masking the absence of reality. Here's where the woo takes over. We hear elaborate tales of Bigfoot stepping through portals or vanishing into thin air, and ideas presented with confidence, but without any physical evidence to back them up. These narratives mask the fact that the supposed phenomenon has no verifiable reality behind it, when actually it does, right? It has tracks. It has real, real eyewitness sightings that are not stretching the reality.
Right. It's one thing to speak with someone that has seen a hairy creature walking on two legs that they have never seen before and have no idea other than what other people have described that this is a Bigfoot because they've never seen it before. But then you have those people that describe something completely weird.
So what do we think of that guy, Matt Johnson? Dr. Matthew Johnson had a very earthly, worldly, again, reflecting reality type of experience. And you see, this is, if you look at Dr. Matt Johnson's journey through Baudrillard's lens,
right?
He was reflecting reality at the time of his sighting. Oh yeah, I went up, to urinate. As I was urinating, I looked across. My family was in a gully or a valley walking, and on the other mountainside, the other hillside, he could see a Bigfoot watching them. Never called them anything. He never called them the Tracheon or the Janu, or, it was none of that for many, many years. But then as years went on, his stories began to get a little more embellished with unverified powers and, mind speak. And then eventually it came into the absence of reality, where we're hearing these elaborate stories, the Council of 12, the Janu, the Tracheon, all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And now he surrounds himself with people that go to number 4, pure simulacrum, which is hyperreality. In this final stage, the woo becomes reality for the believers around him or for other believers. They interact with these stories as though they are established fact, even when every piece of tangible evidence points elsewhere. Bigfoot becomes less of a biological creature to them and more of a mythical archetype, completely detached from zoological possibility. And that would
Yeah.
be the Council of 12. The anthropomorphization of the genre is unreal. He's giving them human-like characteristics, like creating a council. That's a human characteristic. It's not an animal trait, right?
Yeah.
Having natural enemies, the good guys and the bad guys. Again, anthropomorphization. That's how we deal with our entertainment. So Matt Johnson and his followers are in pure simulacrum. They live in hyperreality. They're living a simulation where reality is they have their own reality, not based in anything that's in real reality.
Right. But when you look into it, though, Matt Johnson, he has a background in psychology and counseling. So he's a little bit, I think he's trying to control the narrative using that. You know what I mean?
Right. And Playing for Real said, never seen the big guy. I feel I'm in no order the way I defend the subject. Absolutely. We're not, believe us, we are a pro Bigfoot channel. So don't think for 1 second.
Yeah.
That we do not believe in Bigfoot. We just disbelieve a lot of the stories that have been coming out, especially when it contains the woo. And here is one way of how people get entrapped or ensconced into the woo, is because they're living in pure, they're buying everything they're hearing, and they're living in pure simulacrum. They're buying this marketed, packaged storyline, and they're buying it hook, line, and sinker, and that becomes their reality. I don't know what do you think, Chris? Does this all sound logical to you? This all sounds like part of Baudrillard's lens?
Well, I think part of it, when they get into the woo, they're trying to create their own cult. They're trying to make money from their own.
Very, very cool, Brian A. Johns. He said he saw one and his wife saw one also. Nice.
Yeah, I think it's all about the money, because especially if you create a group of people and you get your own little group of followers and you start preaching the woo, and then, enforcing it and building upon the woo, adding woo, reinforcing that woo, you get your own group of followers there. And, that's kind of like brainwashing.
Well, yeah. Well, it's you're masking the absence of reality.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you turn into that. I mean, this pure simulacrum is what you get. And I understand, Gary says that I know the woo is real. You see, there you go, when you say things proof positive, like I know, you very well could be living in hyperreality or simulacrum.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can't go by.
No, channel. I don't know who channel name is. The woo is not advanced physics. That's one theory. If it was advanced physics, then there would be proof that it could happen. Right? It would be a measurable thing. It would be something you can gauge. Because physics is mathematics. But no, if you believe that the woo is advanced physics, then again, you're living in pure simulacrum. Because if you look at the very beginning of this mystery, go back 200 years, it was never anything woo. It was reality. It was connected to a zoological, physical, biological world.
Right.
But then you turn around and add the little social media. You add somebody that wrote a book about the psychic Sasquatch, and then everybody just hooked into it.
Well, if you're going to write a new book and you want it to be a hit, you need to embellish if you're creating fiction. And then you can have Bigfoot portals. You can have disappearing Bigfoot.
Oh,
you can have invisible.
Brian H. John, that's her old buddy John Cartwright. Hello, John.
Where's she at here?
Hope to see you next week.
Oh, hey, John. Good to see you, man.
What's up? So we hope to see you next week. I'll be out at the Pennsylvania Bigfoot camping adventure. And if I don't throw my back out, it won't be the Bigfoot camping misadventure.
Well.
Well, it is easier. Is it not easier if you look at the generations, the last 30 years?
Shirley
Right?
Hance got it there, but
Right.
believing in the woo is great escapism. Yes.
Absolutely. And if you think about it,
Yeah.
we are taught for the last 30 years, even 35 years, that escapism kicks up our endorphins with video games. We go into a video game, we play an RPG or Dungeons and Dragons, which was my generation's thing. It's all escapism, right?
Yeah.
You're escaping the real world and you're living in that simulation. So when something like this comes down the road, like the Janu and Tracheon and Mindspeak and all this, and you ignore all the science behind it, because there is a science behind some of that. It's not quantum physics. It's gas emissions. It's post-traumatic regression, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, Ron's got a good a comment here. It says, my amateur opinion is that the woo is simply a shortcut around putting in the hours doing actual research to figure out what's really going on. Woo allows one to be an expert without being one.
But that's,
you can be your own expert.
Yeah, that's not across the board, though. Everybody has a different reason for the woo. Well, I had this experience in the woods. I saw orbs. It's got to be Bigfoot. I saw these glyphs. It's got to be Bigfoot, right? Remember the gifting bowl video?
Yeah.
Right. That's what some of these people. I'm going to put food out and it disappears, and next thing you know, they spot a rock. Oh my God, it's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they see sticks laying on the ground. Well, that looks like it says hi. It's a Bigfoot. No, it's not. Damn it.
Well, to me, I think the most common explanation for adding in the woo is the achievement of the greenback. money.
For some, again, everybody has
it.
Right. Just like hoaxing, it has certain people hoax for certain reasons. Some people believe in this for whatever reason. Maybe they're a spiritual person. Oh yes, the Bigfoot, and they don't realize that how far away from science they are.
Yeah.
So I think that stuff is really huge. So moving on.
Yeah. Well, Vester says when Les Stroud said he saw orbs in Oregon, I believe him. He's not like Standing or Dr. Johnson. And there's no doubt that orbs we're talking natural orbs, exist. I can't say a paranormal orb, but they exist in nature.
Well, let me ask you another question too. Is that who's to say that the orbs are not just paranormal activity too? Well, if one believes in paranormal activity, okay, I understand that. Right. But, I don't discount the paranormal side of things, but I discount it when it comes to Bigfoot.
Well, I know you can, if you're anywhere in the United States, and they have very good luck with them popping up in Marfa, Texas. Go check out the Marfa lights.
Yep. And
just so happens, there happens to be a very large natural gas storage field there.
Well, we ourselves saw one in Kentucky, Chris, when we were doing our thing, and it was very quick, very fast.
Well,
but that area has a lot of caves, a lot of gas deposits.
There's a lot. There's one area on Green River, down in the river bottom.
Oh,
and
you notice I got that on blinking tonight? That's from our good friends over there.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Laser Works. Yeah,
like a pulsing. That's pretty cool.
I had to do a little plug for them. So remember, you want some great laser engraving and a light like that? Van Sickle Laser Works. Check them out on Facebook. You can find them over at squatchdetective.com.
But one of the areas that have those, and they show up. They don't show up every night, but they are pretty common on Green River here in Kentucky. And that area over there, that's where Western Kentucky University purchased.
Right.
That's interesting. But I've been to that area and I've seen them several times, and it's pretty interesting. There'll be nothing, and then sometimes you got to wait for an hour or two. Right. But you go there and there'll be nothing, and you're like, Well, I don't see anything. If you just hopped in the truck or hopped in the car and left, you would have, left a non-believer. You'd said, "Oh, well, there's no such thing as
Well,
orbs."
there was a day, I think it was me, Eric Altman, and Jay Pachoch, and we were all watching this orb float on up, right? But where were we? We're right near a natural gas line.
Yeah, but the thing
again,
is,
gas orbs, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
You're in mining country, you're in cave country where we were, right?
Yeah, but believe me, Steve, you've not seen nothing compared to the real deal of these things.
Marfa,
floating around, and they're comparable to what's in Marfa, Texas.
Right.
It's so cool because you can watch them go up a tree, go up the side of a tree, and then when they get up there to a certain point, if they hit a limb or something, a lot of times they'll just pop.
Right.
Just like you stuck a bubble with a needle.
Because that's all it is, really, is a bubble.
It's a bubble. Exactly.
So why does this matter? And this is my kind of summation here on this whole thing, because the danger is that once simulation becomes the truth, simulacra, official thinking and scientific investigation take a back seat. We're no longer chasing evidence. We're chasing narratives. And in some circles, challenging those narratives isn't just unwelcome. Instead, it's treated like heresy. This is exactly what Baudrillard warned about. When representation becomes more important than reality, it becomes impossible to tell the difference, and people stop trying. Well, damn it, I'm not stopping trying. That's why every week we try to get the word out of the truth out there. And if you read the psychology of Bigfoot, you will see all the scientific reasons why some things happen. We're not saying that people necessarily are lying about their experiences, but there are natural psychological factors that occur under stress, and some conditions under physical conditions that are natural earth conditions, or in even the far extreme, maybe even a paranormal type of event rather than a Bigfoot event.
All right. People
ask me about Dogman all the time. I do not believe Dogman is a biological creature. I tend to believe that if it's real and if it exists, it is a paranormal manifestation. It has nothing to do with Bigfoot, nothing to do with the real physical world. That's my thought on it. If it exists, like I said, that's a big if, right?
It could also be a misidentified bear.
Absolutely. But bears don't have those funny dog-like hind legs.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's, I'm not going to necessarily poo-poo it all. Let's keep an open mind, but we're not going to throw away the science book.
I've yet to see one.
I have yet to see one too.
Hey,
although I looked up my family tree and I found 2 dogs using it.
If that day comes, maybe we'll talk about it. But until I see one, I'm from Missouri. Show me.
Right. And as people know, I am very well versed in the paranormal side of things. Running a paranormal team for a number of years.
Right.
But it's nothing related to a Bigfoot that can be explained by, like I said, post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic regression, the limbic system taking over the mind.
Yeah.
Right. Where you're like, you're trying to understand what you're seeing. Right. Oh, and then it just disappeared. Well, your mind was too busy going, what the hell is it I'm looking at?
Right. So, that's true.
Exactly, John. I think my Yorkies are barking at, and that's exactly what leads one to the other. And that's part of post-traumatic stress disorder. If somebody has a real sighting, then they get what we call Bigfoot on the brain, which is what I like to call the non-colloquial term now. And what it is post-traumatic stress disorder. Everything becomes Bigfoot. Every picture they snap, there's a Bigfoot in it. Every bump they hear in the night, it's a Bigfoot. Every tree break they see, it's a Bigfoot. Every, funny looking tree fall or branches falling becomes a glyph.
Well,
you put a bowl out full of food and it disappears. It's Bigfoot. Couldn't be a raccoon.
Yeah.
Which we've actually had that occur one time. These people had a legit damn sighting. And then something was taking, they would put bagels out trying to bait them, and the bagels would disappear.
Right.
And when we actually set a trail camera up on where they were feeding the Sasquatch, allegedly, it was the world's fattest friggin' raccoon because they'd been living on 3 dozen bagels a night. The only thing missing with the bagels was the lox and the cream cheese.
The masked bandit strikes again.
That masked bandit, damn trash pandas.
That's hilarious. But I'm open. I'm open to evidence, and if some evidence is presented that's other than, hey, I saw a portal.
Put John's sighting up there, or put Brian and John's IPTF. Absolutely, John. And I'm so sorry. I was so brain dead the last time I saw you at the Pennsylvania Bear. I thought that was you guys. I wish you'd kick me and said, it's me, John. I haven't seen you in so many years. But I would have sidebarred with you quite a longer time. So I hope you guys make it out this year, because I'd love to just hang out and talk with you guys for a little while. But my God, exactly, John. PTSD does happen from these sightings.
Yes.
I mean, our good old, how many people do we know that will not go back into the woods or in certain areas of the woods, or I'm not going hunting back there because of what's happening.
Yep. Once they realize there's a big hairy something walking around in the woods, they never feel the same way about the woods again. And it happened to me after I had my first sighting. Every time I was walking in the woods again after that, hoping to have another one, if a twig broke behind me, I was like, it's Bigfoot, it's going to get me, and you can't help it in your mind, it pops up, everything that happens, Bigfoot, but you can beat it. You can beat it, but it takes a while.
And here's the thing. When you hear me talk about PTSD, okay, I have a frame of reference I'm talking about, because I too am a survivor of PTSD. And let me give you my PTSD story, because it cost me my marriage way back when. Cost me to lose everything I had, where I was living, my kids, my home, everything. And what it became with a very tragic fire story on a Mother's Day. And the mother was at the boyfriend's house and left a 12-year-old in charge, who left a candle burning on the table, which caught the drape on fire. And by 4:00 in the morning, the place was a raging inferno. The 12-year-old dived out the window, the second-story window, broke her leg. But the other three, the 6-year-old, the 3-year-old, and the 18-month-old, never made it out alive. Well, they made it out, but they weren't alive. And we worked those kids, and unfortunately, they were too far gone. Right. That's what caused my PTSD, because at the time, my kids were all waist high.
Yeah.
And it made it very difficult to be around them during that time. That's why I spent a lot of time at the firehouse or at the ambulance garage, or, and, what it did to my temper was horrendous. And even my ex-wife today said, you were, and she goes, you were never the same after that. Never the same. Kind of shirk most of that off nowadays. Right. Still have some remnants of anger sometimes because of that. But, I can get feisty at times. And all that's part of the PTSD process. Luckily, I was not ever thinking of any of those bad thoughts where, we talk about the 22 when it comes to armed forces and stuff like that. I can't say that word because they'll demonetize us.
Right.
So I know something about PTSD, right? And then I became an interrogator and interviewer and learned all the psychology and all the stuff behind it. And then it took many years later to go, oh, duh, I had PTSD from that whole incident. Right.
Yeah. You realized it after the fact, right?
So what I would suggest to anybody that has PTSD, and I'm sorry to hear that, Roker.
Yeah.
There are support groups for PTSD, no matter what it is. You just go and say, I have PTSD. You don't have to tell what caused your PTSD.
Right.
For Mick, you know, is Mick's not here tonight, I noticed.
I haven't seen him in here.
Right. Like we know, you know, Mick has PTSD. Okay. Yeah. Well, no, he's let's call the sheriff's on him. We know Mick has PTSD because he walked in on his ex-mother-in-law in the shower. Anyway,
that'll do it.
That'll do it. He was afraid of the dark. Now he's afraid of the light. Simple as that. But anyway,
I think, you know, if you've had a
now, you know, we're going to get crap from Mick when he watches the
yes. Oh, it'll be welcome.
Yes.
If you've had a Bigfoot encounter and it messed you up, I mean, you may not even realize that, you know, you're experiencing PTSD, but it happens. And I think one of the great things to do, instead of keeping that hidden from the world, because I know you've seen something that shouldn't exist. And if you tell somebody that, they're going to think, well, this guy's nuts. Okay. What you need to do is go to a Bigfoot conference or an area where you've got other people that have seen the same thing, and discuss your sighting with them and let them tell you about theirs. And once you start talking about it and get it out of your system, you know, rather than bottling it all up, it helps. It helps.
I'll tell you, I've done it with 2 people so far. I remember the first time I did it, I said, you're not going to be made fun of. I'm going to be standing right next to you. I'll be in support of you.
Right.
And he went and he told the story. And after it, he's like, my God, I felt so much better. Then eventually he went on other shows, and eventually he would go on the podcast and tell a story on podcast. So it was very relieving of him. And of course, the other one was Joe Snyder, our late great friend,
Joe,
who never told this story in front of people. He only told it behind a microphone, behind a camera, where he can't see the people.
Right.
And a year before he passed, I had him at the Stockwell Lake Bigfoot Expo, and he told his story in front of everybody, which to him, he even said that was very liberating to do.
Right.
So, and we're still thinking you up there, old buddy.
Yep. Gone, but not forgotten.
Nope, definitely not. You know, and you know, and Joe was a backup host of this show.
Yeah, many times. Yeah,
many times. Yep. And you know, that's 2 backup show hosts we lost. Indy was another one. Good old Steve Pickett was another
Indy.
backup many years ago.
He was cool. With
his funniest quote ever. Now, Steve, where I come from, telephone poles don't have branches. Long story behind that one.
That's good.
Abe might remember that one.
Oh man.
Yeah, Jay Fritz is another one. Jay's another guy who had some PTSD. He would never go back in that area again to go squirrel hunt. It took him a long time to go back.
Yeah,
squirrel hunt.
It happens. You know, I've talked to guys here in Kentucky that used to be avid hunters, and after they had their experience, they won't go back into the area where they had that experience. And you know, I can see it's kind of traumatizing. You know, it is because.
And John, that is complete bullshit. I know that. You know that. I'm in your corner, brother, for that one. I mean, that's freaking horrible.
No.
Horrible.
Well, see, the thing is, you know, you got to realize that if somebody has not seen these things, okay, in their mind, well, it's just a fantasy. It's a myth. It's impossible. But they don't realize because they haven't had that experience. And don't hold it against them, because I was the same way. You know, until I actually seen it for myself. You know, remember Missouri, Okay, well, I'm in Kentucky, but I must have originally been from Missouri because you got to show me before I'm going to believe it. And after I had my experience, I was like, I'll be damned.
Right.
There it is. There it is. Deny it. It's right there in front of your eyes. Is it a cow? What is it? No, it's not a cow. And you keep telling yourself after you had an experience, well, what was it? It can't be what I saw. It's got to be something else. And I'm just, tricking myself into believing that it's actually a Sasquatch. It's got to be a bear. It's got to be a moose. It's got to be something, anything but something that can't possibly exist. But you know
see,
what?
and that's exactly how the mind works too.
Yeah,
is when you're trying to figure it out. You're like, right.
What
And even myself, when I had my second sighting, I tried to. No, I couldn't have seen that.
Yes,
I couldn't have seen that
that's
until the next day, when Jeff Thomas comes out and says, "Hey, something left this log I chucked behind my
right."
Like, excuse me, you're missing this.
Oh, granted, I've seen so much in law enforcement, firefighting, teaching, and outside of those jobs to learn to dissociate yourself and then talk about it later. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but where you have a lot of time. That's right, John. His wife, John's wife, was the former Mrs. Steve Pickett. Good old Robin.
Great girl.
Absolutely. Aside from that, PTSD happens a lot of times when there's a perfect storm. Like for me, I remember climbing in as a firefighter, climbing into a vehicle to hold a dead body away so it didn't get mashed up by the hearse tool, aka the jaws of life.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody was asking me at the time, because I was a new fire, are you okay? I'm fine. Wasn't until I started having my kids and they were growing up that whole thing was just a big, the perfect storm.
I hope you can't hear that. Can you hear that in the microphone? I'm pouring
very little. Yeah, we didn't hear the can pop like we normally do.
Okay, good.
That we heard.
Normally I have to mute out to do that, and but this one works.
Told you.
Yeah. What is the brand of mic on these things, Steve?
Zoom,
yeah.
The same ones that make the digital recorders that go out into the
forest. Oh, there it is. ZUM, Zoom 2. The Zoom 2 mic, man.
Well, actually, the brand is Zoom, ZOOM, but they call it a ZUM.
Okay. Yeah, well, the microphone is ZUM-2. That's the model, and man, I like it. I like it much better than the old tried and true Blue Yeti.
Yep.
Unless this thing starts, wiggle. You have to wiggle the.
Well,
connection.
you remember, yeah, the Blue Yetis. When Logitech bought out Blue Yeti, they started putting in these cheap fittings to the top of where the plug goes into the mic, and after a while, they just disintegrated. Yeah. And you would start getting this posturing stuff. We don't have anything. I mean, this Zoom has been a bear. This mic has been a bear since I got it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Amen, John. Amen.
But the people have a sighting.
Amen, John.
And the ones that hold that in, I think it's worse. It's 10 times worse.
It does.
When
I'm the perfect example.
Yeah.
Right. I couldn't go home and talk about that stuff because I didn't want to upset the ex. I didn't want to upset anybody around me. So I relayed. That's why I hung out at the firehouse, because I could talk about that. Why I hung around the ambulance car, I could talk about that.
Yeah.
Right. And it's the same thing for Bigfoot people. But what I did not realize is that you could go in to a PTSD support group, no matter what the problem is, and they will embrace you, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And here's a great example of why this phenomenon is so real to me, is because people do experience PTSD and all these other psychological effects I talk about. But anyway, Chris, it's 9:55. We got to start winding down. What a quick hour.
Yeah, I want to put Boris's comment up here. Boris Khan says, well, while at a campground, I watched a bear tearing apart a tree stump less than 75 feet from me. I looked down for 1 second to grab a camera, and the bear was gone with no trace.
The bear went into a portal.
It was a bear portal. Yes, it had to have been.
Right.
But that's a very good example, Boris.
Well,
of what can happen.
I always talk about, I had one woman come up to me at Ohio, and she says, "Well, I think they're interdimensional. Oh, they jump through portals." Well, yeah. Why is that? Well, they just seem to disappear. Ever see a deer cross the road? Well, yeah. Where does it go? Because you drive by and it's gone. I said, Bigfoot has the same coloration, a brown or a black, most of the time, or even a reddish brown, that all the other animals of the forest blend perfectly into the greens and the reds and the oranges sometimes if it's fall.
Right.
All those colors match up, believe it or not. Mick just showed up.
Hey, Mick.
Boy, you were mentioned tonight, brother. You're gonna have to go back. I like Chris. Call the sheriff's department back. We don't have to have him go out to his house now.
Okay, I'll call him back.
Yeah, I'll take the bonk on the head for that one. I don't care.
Oh, love you, man.
You too, brother.
Oh, but people see these creatures do superhuman feats, and their mind jumps to, well, it's got to be magical. It's got to be paranormal.
Well, Abe, I'd come out to see you. I just need an invite to speak. Love to make a Minnesota Bigfoot conference.
Abe, you're too kind. Thank you, Abe. Appreciate you, man.
Amen. Love you too, brother. Right back at you.
And while we're thanking people for being here, I want to thank everybody for joining us and hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you guys.
And if you're new, please make yourself at home. As you can see, we are very chat friendly. We love people that keep coming back and giving us their takes and joining into the fray. So don't be afraid if you're over on the podcast channels, please come on over to the YouTube channel. Check us out over here as well.
Yeah, because it's not just, me and Steve kicking stuff back and forth. We love to talk with the chat, everybody in the chat. We love our members come up here and pop these questions up or discussions or comments. I love to interact with that stuff. Love you guys. And we know we've got the greatest audience we could ever hope to have. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. If it's your first time watching, make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. Give us a thumbs up. That helps us with the algorithm.
Grant, that information will be just a couple of weeks away. And I'm going to give everybody a link to email me, and I will get that information out to them.
Yeah.
So that way I can compile a mailing list and basically get it out in one group email saying, hey, this is where we're going to be. I have to call and get the permit still. That takes all of about 5 minutes because I just call up the ranger. I say, okay, they don't actually need me to mail anymore a physical permit. So,
yeah. But again, thanks so much for joining us, guys.
I did, Brian.
Appreciate
I'm going to
you.
check that out some more. Obviously, I've been so busy, and this weekend I got to do some more uploads to the podcast side of things out over to not Anchor, but Spotify, and get those propagated all over the place again. I'm going to do a few more episodes, probably another 4 that are going to go out. I have to get the members video set for that interview I did of the woman in Ohio. Great story there. So members, be looking out there. If you're not a member, that's where I cut a lot of these interview videos. I don't put them out there for the general public. I put that out there for my members. But anyway, Chris, take us out. It's 10 p.m. Here we go.
Again, thank you guys for joining us. Hanging out with us on Friday night. We appreciate you. Appreciate you hanging out on Wednesdays and Sundays too. First time, please subscribe. If you don't, we can't beat the YouTube algorithm. And we do this all naturally. It's all natural occurring.
Oh, natural.
All natural. So make sure you smash that like button. Smash it. Hit it. Don't hit it twice because it'll unlike.
Hit that bell. Don't hit it twice because then it'll go.
Yeah. And Steve and I both know this is only possible because of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
And tonight, hopefully, we won't screw up the ending like we did the other night. And we shall party on. So anyway, just to give everybody a program update, we'll be doing a show Sunday, and we'll be doing a show next Wednesday. Then I will be off to the great Pennsylvania Bigfoot Camping Adventure 2025. And we will not be doing a show that Friday and Sunday. We're only missing a couple of shows for that one, and we'll be back the following Wednesday after that. So that's the schedule. So we still got a couple more shows in the tank here live, and before we head off to Pennsylvania. So, folks, on behalf of me and everybody else, have a great night. We'll see you in a couple of days on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on youtube.com/@Squatch-D TV. Love you guys. We'll see you all Sunday night. And it didn't work again. I'm pushing a button. What's going on here? Man, what the heck happened?
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.